you're doing really well and having a really lovely day. I've got something a little bit different for you today. Very exciting, different last week with the fat quarter tutorial and different this week. I'm on a roll. But anyway, I will start at the beginning. So back in December, I think it was the beginning of December, end of November, I received an email from the lovely Amy, who on Instagram is Almond Rock Sews, and at the time she was the editor of Love Sew magazine. She's since left, which is very sad, but it's been taken on by a lovely Ruth, so all good. Anyway, that's not the point. But yes, Amy messaged me, sent me an email to ask if I would like to do the reader review for February's issue of Love Sew magazine, which, oh my goodness, I was buzzing for the whole day after that email. So Love Sew magazine, ta-da, is a sewing magazine in the UK. I think you can probably get it abroad, and I think you can download it as well. And I already subscribed to this particular magazine. I think I've subscribed to this magazine for a couple of years now. It's always really, really lovely. But every month the magazine comes with one, sometimes even two patterns, dressmaking patterns. And every month they get a reader to make the pattern in advance and do a review of that particular pattern. So they asked me to do it, which was so cool, super exciting. There were two patterns. One was a trouser pattern. I can't remember what it was now. And the other was McCall's M7906, which I will put a picture of here. Now, when I initially looked at the picture, I was like, oh, it's not, I don't know if it's really my style. I had literally just made a button-down skirt in a chambray, so it was kind of similar, but it was more fitted at the sort of waist and hips. And I looked, and there actually wasn't that many of this particular pattern that had been made to sort of have a look, but there was a few, because I can't remember, there was a challenge at some point last year to sew this skirt. So a few people had made it, and there were loads of different versions, so you can go quite short. There's sort of a knee length, a midi length, and a longer length, and there's different, so you can add belt loops for your own belt, or you can add thicker belt loops and a tie waist strap as well. So I opted for view B, which was, I think, just under knee length. I originally was looking at view A, which is like a tartan skirt style, and it reminded me of, did anybody watch Clueless? Alicia Silverstone as Cheryl in that yellow tartan skirt, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll do that, that'd be really cool. I then really quickly dismissed that idea, because as well as the side seams, there's also a seam down the back and seams down the front and pleats and everything, and the pattern matching was just gonna do my head in, and I went no. And it was over Christmas as well, so there was already lots going on. So I dismissed the idea of a tartan, yellow tartan, and decided to, well, I sort of hunted around and I found a really beautiful burgundy twill, Robert Kaufman twill, that I got from Sew Me Sunshine, which was gifted to me as part of the product review. And it was beautiful. I've never really used twill before. It's a very heavy fabric, a bit like denim or canvas, that kind of weight. It's got good weight to it. But the colour was beautiful. I actually thought it, based on the picture that was on my computer, that it was more of a pinky colour. Even though it said burgundy, I didn't really match the two. And I thought it was more of a pinky colour, but it came and it was a beautiful, very Christmassy burgundy colour. So got it in the wash, and like I said, decided to make view B, and honestly it cut so beautifully. I'm used to, I sew a lot with jersey and viscose, which obviously can be a little bit on the tricky side, so sewing with something so well behaved was really nice. And it sewed beautifully and it cut beautifully. So there's no waistband, but there's a waist facing and a button placket. Wait, is there a button placket, or is it like a self-faced button placket, I think? And so the pleats are really exaggerated pleats. You actually top stitch the pleats down to really focus in on those pleats, which gives the skirt a really gorgeous silhouette. So it really makes, sort of shows off your waist. I did the ultimate sin and took the pockets away. Yes, I know. Normally as sewists, we gush over pockets and we add pockets to anything that we can, but I decided, because it was quite a full skirt and quite a heavy fabric, that adding pockets would add even more bulk to my hips, which is an area I don't want to add more bulk to. So I took the pockets away, and I'm glad I did, because it's a really beautiful smooth line across my hips now. And then what else? I'm trying to think what else. So then I added buttons. I had some really gorgeous wooden patterned buttons that my parents got for me when they went on holiday to the Outer Hebrides. I can't remember if they were on Harris or because they got me some fabric from, so they got me some Harris tweed as well. So I don't know if it was from there or if it was one of the other islands that they went to. But I texted my lovely sewing friends, Bruna, Laura and Gemma, who work for me, and we have a little WhatsApp group message. So I sent them a picture and said, guys, are these buttons crazy that they don't match? They're not like a set. And they all of them went, do it, do the buttons. The buttons look good. So I really love that it adds a real sort of focus to the skirt as well. I haven't got the skirt with me today, but I will put some pictures, because I got to go up for a photo shoot, which was, oh my gosh, so exciting. So I live near Southampton, and their studio is up in Stockport in Manchester, so a bit of a journey, but I decided to fly up because it took like 45 minutes to fly. It wasn't very long waiting around in the airport either, and you know, a train would have been 5 hours and changes and things like that, and there's no way I was driving. No way I was driving that far. So I flew, which was fine until coming back, and it was what we now know was Storm Brendan appeared as I was coming back, and the landing in Southampton was the worst landing I have ever experienced. It was just one of those teeny tiny little was it a Flybe plane or EasyJet? I can't remember, but teeny tiny, really rattly. It was dark as well when I came back, and everything was moving. Normally I look out and look at the horizon to stop myself feeling really poorly, but there was nothing to look at that was still. Everything was moving. Ugh. It wasn't good. But anyway, enough of that. So I got there and I got up to the studio where Amy met me, and also Ruth, who is the new editor, was there shadowing Amy at the same time. And then there was Renata, the photographer, and a really lovely lady, I've forgotten her name, who did the hair and makeup. She was so nice. We had a really lovely chat whilst she did my makeup as well. And obviously there was tea, lots of tea too. So yeah, it was really exciting, and I've never been in that kind of studio before. I've got some video clips to sort of show you in a minute of the studio and of me being photographed and things like that. So it was really cool. So the publishing company that published Love Sewing have about, I think, 6 or 7 other magazines. There's quilting one, there's a stationery one, I think there's a crochet one and a knitting one, and this studio is used for all of those magazines. So they've got props galore, so many props, like, you know, plastic food that looks edible, there was bedding, there was cushions, there were plants, like fake plants, so many props. I was like in heaven just having a look around. And then they had another little studio where they do like overhead bird's eye view videos, or sort of tutorial videos as well, which I really loved and was really inspired by, because I'd love something like that as well. So yeah, I had my hair and makeup done. I did try to film a time lapse of me getting my hair and makeup done, but even though it looked fine on my phone, it zoomed in and I think you can only see like this bit of me, so I will have a look at that in a minute when I come to edit this, and may or may not put it in. And yeah, so then I got dressed and they steam pressed my skirt and the top. I also made a plain white Tilly and the Buttons cocoa top to go with it. They put me in some very high heeled shoes. I am not a high heels girl at all. I'm clunky boots with a bit of a heel maybe, or flats, or yeah, pointy high heels. So they put me in those because it did look really good with the skirt, and I had to sort of totter over to the stage area, which was on like wheels as well, and every time I stood on it, it moved, and it was really quite terrifying. And yeah, then I had my photos taken, which probably took, I don't know, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and was really, really fun. I had a real lovely time doing that. And then they also took a photo of me and Amy together for the first page into Amy's introduction, which was really good. We had a really good giggle doing that. And then they also really kindly took some sort of headshots and some close-up pictures. So even though they weren't going to be in the magazine, they've sent them over to me so I can use them, so I can show you some here, and I will probably do a blog post on it as well. And all in all, I was probably only there for an hour and a half maybe, before heading back home again. So it feels very weird that you can get up to Manchester and back within a few hours. It's crazy. But yeah, I had a lovely time. The magazine came out last week. I got home from a trip to Birmingham for a trade show, and the magazine was waiting for me at home. So that was really awesome to see, very exciting. And yeah, I was just really blown away to be asked to do that, and I loved it. So I will now show you some clips of the day, and I hope you really enjoy them.
Because you've got glasses on, you might. We'll try to do. Every time I click the button, we'll try to do a different type of movement, even a very sort of slightly different. It doesn't have to be anything dramatic. So it's like a head tilt or just like a bit of a. Then we can do standing from like a 45 degree from one side and just slowly sort of like rotating to the other side. So it kind of gives you a bit different type of options to kind of move about.
See that 5 point sign? Yeah. From like there over to this cubicle.
Okay.
Any further in it will be just like the side of your body.
And then you can change your hands and sort of like walk around.
Oh, did you put the pockets
So you just sort of like step forward.
Yeah.
So it's just like rocking forward and back, but it kind of makes it look like you're actually walking. Okay, next.
Lovely smile.
How's the reflection on the glasses?
It's coming and going. Yeah, it's coming and going. But not too much.
Lovely.
It feels strange, isn't it?
Well, I normally get Andy to do this for me for my blog and Instagram photos, and it's always that one like. Just have fun. Yeah.
You see.
Oh, see, these are lovely. Hey, let's have a look through.
Look at it.
The bababoo.
So I think, from my perspective, oh, very pointed
Yeah, it's
toe.
like really relaxed. That's by the hips. Yeah. Beautiful. I mean, just stepping forward.
That's a great little shoes, actually.
Nice. Lovely. And I'm sort of like rocking in and out. Out slightly. As we want to see.
See your gorgeous face.
There we go.
New career if the 7 boxes don't work out.
Oh,
Oh, lovely.
Down as well with the chin back, lift that down. Nice. Great.
Oh, that's nice.
Legs and
That's
nice.
If you think of your favourite person in the world and stare down the camera as if they're there. I won't make you say who it is. Pick between changes on the day. Nice. You can take them off for a break if needed.
Actually, I might have to take this one.
This is actually a really nice cheeky one where you're looking away.
Yeah.
So we don't really mind, like, it's, you get the whole page, it's just one nice big image of you.
Yeah.
Oh, see, you've got it now, you remembered everything.
Oh, they look so nice.
Okay.
Loads.
So I think there's loads big
Just move your head.
How about
slightly.
the-
Oh, there you
you just pressing your arm, just for like having that. Chin just going a bit lower down. Nice.
go. Just try the other direction as well. So looking out towards the window.
Nice. You don't have to hold your hands like that all the time. Just like,
She wants, she can't bite, so you know she's a little bit firm. Yeah.
Yeah.
great stuff. Okay.
Now this is where we check if I managed to make it work. As you're a pro now. And I forget every time what to do.
I can see the gap if you want to even closer. It's so funny. Oh. Well, this is that was the closest.
I know. Let it go last secret.
Okay, let's have a look.
So I hope you enjoyed having a little peek behind the scenes of a photo shoot in a magazine. I honestly had such a blast doing it. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching, and I will see you all really soon. Bye!